All right, we do have with us this evening our today's winner, Justin Cooper. His first win of the season, second win of his career, 2-1 today. He finished second at this track last year, tied for the overall win, I believe, even. And then we also have Jeremy Martin, who finished third today and is in our championship fight with Dylan going into the finale. I'm Brandon Short, media manager here for the Pro Motocross Championship. We'll start with you, Justin. Congratulations today. I know this has been building for you. You're coming off an injury into the season, and obviously it took a while to kind of get back into your groove and kind of get back to that speed that we're accustomed to seeing you at and that you're probably accustomed to being at. It looks like it all came together today. Fastest qualifier, 2 solid starts, and you're able to get the job done. Talk about your day. Talk about what it feels like to be back on top of the podium.
Yeah, I actually didn't really execute my first moto start the best, so that was kind of a bummer. I really sprinted the first couple laps to get myself in a position to, get towed away with the leaders, my teammates. So pumped on that, and I guess settled a little bit too much in the middle of the first moto. So nothing I'm mad about. It was still a good ride, but it was definitely good. I kind of took second in a way and tried to save as much energy as I could for the second moto, to give it everything I had, because second is as good as the first one, and it's pretty much what my mindset was going into for the rest of the day. And yeah, it all panned out pretty good. So I'm stoked on the day. It's good to get the win with a round to go. I was kind of putting a lot of pressure on myself to execute it, and it feels really good. It's a lot of weight lifted off my shoulders. I think everyone around me expects this of me. So definitely good to, put it behind me and go into next weekend and try and do the same thing with a little bit less pressure.
What was it about this weekend? Is it the track? I mean, you mentioned several times you really just like this track. You vibe well with it. What really was that difference maker today? This looked like the you that started off last year hot the way you did, and we're so consistent. Really, what was that difference for you today?
Yeah, so WW this track and the next one, I think I won one and then second at both the other ones. So they're all 3 of these are good tracks for me to end up on. And it has something to do with that, but we're really starting to click, and it's too bad that it took this long. But just again, stoked to get the win here. And this place has been good to me. I've been on the podium the first 2 years here, and I got my first moto win here. So definitely enjoy coming here. I don't know what it is about the altitude that was so different. Maybe it's because it's motocross and not supercross, but at Salt Lake, I struggled so bad with the altitude, and it didn't really seem to phase me. Today, I felt pretty good, and stoked on it.
Sweet. Jeremy, a good day for you, all in all. It's probably not what you wanted. I'm sure you're in that position. You were there with Justin at the end there. You tried a couple times to get around him. He just was able to hold you off. I'm sure you didn't really realize what was going on with Dylan behind you, but it was a wild day, honestly, for the 250 class, as they have been all year. Are you happy with your third? And, what are your thoughts going in? You got an 18-point deficit going into Pala. What are you thinking going into the final round?
Yeah, for starters on just today, 4-2 for third overall. Not super stoked on that. I had a really good jump out of the gate in Moto 1, and I just straight up just some of the guys just went right around me. I don't really know what happened there. I executed my shifts and everything pretty good. And then it was just a dogfight, really, the whole first moto. I was just trying to catch the blue bikes, and I inched up on Shane a little bit, but I get up on him a little bit, and then he'd sprint and kind of get away and stuff. So Moto 2, we made a change with gearing, and it just helped a ton out of the gate, and I got off to a really good start. And I tried to definitely get in on Justin there, but he was riding really well, and I thought maybe I could get him early, but he started to kind of catch on to some of my lines, and then I just threw a couple good little efforts at him, and he rode well, and I just didn't have anything there, and that was it.
All right, we'll open it to the media. Media, please just use the raise your hand option if you can. Dan, we'll go ahead and start with you.
I'll start with Justin. How frustrating is it that you're getting your pace now and the season's now ending?
I mean, yeah, it's frustrating, but at the same time, it's a relief. Like, I don't want to go out of the season, with nothing to show. So, better now than ever, I guess. But yeah, like I said, it is frustrating that it took this long, and we have a shorter series this year. So, definitely a little bummed on that. I would like to, keep it going, but yeah, these guys are riding great. We had a great battle in Moto 2. All I could hear was the number 6 behind me. So I tried to, capitalize on what I was doing wrong, because he got up next to me a couple of times, and he really, pushed me to my limit in that second moto. So he was riding great, and just was able to, keep my pace through the end, and that was key. So yeah, moving to next weekend, a little less pressure, because I really wanted to get this overall win before the season was over. And yeah, just going into next weekend, I'm going to give it my best again. We got one more race, so I'm going to go for it.
You and Shane are battling for third. Is there any bonus money involved with that with you guys? Is there a little inner battle there for third overall in the points? I think you're separated by just a few points.
No.
No.
If it was 2018, then yes, that would be when I would get a little pay. But yeah, now no, there's nothing on the line for me money wise, except podium bonuses, which is what we're going for. So yeah, it just feels so good to get a win, and to give it to the team. They've been working hard with me.
Nice. And Jeremy, I guess quite a big points deficit now going to the final round. What's kind of the mindset heading into Pala now?
Yeah, so the mindset really going into the last round is just ride my race at this point. I mean, he's got a pretty big gap right now, and if I went 1-1, he could basically go 5-5 and he'd still have it. So he's obviously going to go to win on Saturday, and then I'm going to be trying to win too. So just try to put myself in a good position and win, get some good starts, and hopefully get out front and go 1-1 on the day. And then maybe that'll, do something and put him in a situation. But he's been nailing his starts lately, and all the blue bikes have. So yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of focused on me and just going to hammer out this last round.
Nice. Yeah, the pressure's all on him. Thanks, guys.
All right, so we were just also joined by Hunter Lawrence. Hunter enjoyed his best outing of the season today, going 5-4 for 5th overall, was right there in the thick with McElrath, Ferrandis, and himself battling for 3rd in that final motor. Hunter, I know for you, this has also been kind of like Justin, kind of a summer to kind of get back to where your level that you expect to be at, contending, for podiums, kind of like where you were last year. It seems like it kind of all meshed and came together today. You've been up front several times this summer. It hasn't maybe worked out in the end, but you had a day that you're probably looking for. Talk about your day. Talk what it feels like to be back up towards the front and, to walk away with the best result of the year.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a better day today. Obviously, the year's kind of sucked for me, but I wouldn't say I've had much like races up the front like today in the season, just due to starts and stuff like that, and my shoulder not being 100% there. But no, it was good. I mean, we had two pretty decent starts, and yeah, just feeling more and more like myself. So hopefully can put in a good 2 more motos at Pala, and we'll see how we go.
Awesome. And what's it been like this season, kind of being able to go against your brother? I mean, he's been doing great, his first year full season on the bike and in this class. And, I am sure he's giving you something to chase and giving you some motivation to kind of be up there with him. You guys were able to run a little bit together today in that first moto, but what's it been like to kind of have him at least giving you some bar to set? Even Jeremy, kind of running as well as he has, having 2 guys to kind of go after and kind of push to kind of get yourself to that level too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's no different to his Fry, and Thrasher making his, first race pro and stuff, and the other guys coming up like Styles. It's no different just because, it's my brother. Like, it's just another racer. And sure, there's a bar there for the Honda and stuff like that, and what the bike can achieve and et cetera, et cetera. But I wouldn't say it's changed much, just the fact there's another Lawrence out there. And that's about it. Like I'm 6 months behind on just, the injuries I had in the off season. So I'm kind of playing catch up, and then the shoulder injury at round 2, like, put me back a bit more, so just playing catch up. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't change much really. At the end of the day, I'm not looking to race or beat my brother. I mean, it's the guys that are on the podium every week. They're the ones I want to beat.
Right. Back to the media. Weege, Alex, Anton, any of you guys got questions?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go.
Sure.
For all three of you guys today, this is the latest that we've ever raced in Colorado, especially with the big mountain that the sun sets behind. Were shadows ever an issue, especially late in the second moto?
Who wants to get that? I can go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, for us, it was pretty good. I mean, the 450 guys looked like they had it a little tougher. But, I mean, for us, I think it was pretty decent. It was cold, which isn't a bad change from the East Coast heat and Cali heat. But, no, it was good. I think it was a good racetrack all around today.
Cool.
Justin? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Anton.
No, that's fine. Sorry.
Do you want anybody else?
I'll go ahead. Jeremy, for you, this has been a big comeback year, everything we've talked about with your injury and everything like that. Being second in the championship and all this, is this a surprise to you at all? Is this something that you expected even earlier this year, or was it kind of maybe even a higher expectation than you could have ever had?
Well, I mean, I obviously, Supercross, I haven't won a championship, but I've won 2 championships in the outdoor series. So for me, like, I raced to win, and I knew that I'd be competitive. I mean, obviously I was struggling during the Supercross season. I took a really big hit. And I struggled all year with just my wrist, and it really bothered me even prepping for the season. Like I was struggling. I could only ride so many days and stuff like that, but I just hammered through it because I really wanted to put on a good show for this outdoor series and be competitive for the championship. I knew that obviously Dylan was probably gonna, and I figured Cooper would be definitely up there. I was a little surprised in the beginning of the season that he wasn't quite up to speed. But like I knew that Dylan would be obviously really, really fast. So I knew it was going to be tough. And for my biggest thing was I just didn't want to, with me being a past champion, and I don't like to roll over easy. So I just wanted to make it a battle. I wanted to make it a fight. And if I can win it, great. If not, I sure would like to make it tough on the guy that does beat me for the championship. So I knew I'd be competitive for sure, though.
Cool. All right, last question is for Justin. After next week, we have a pretty much undetermined offseason. Who knows when Supercross will pick back up and everything. What's the plan for you? How much time will you take off before going right back into 21 prep?
If I'm going to be honest, I think the plan for me is to get surgery right after Paula. I've had a pretty banged up shoulder. I had an AC joint separation, so that's been bothering me, and it's at the point. I had a previous surgery on it, but it's at the point where it's just not feeling right. So I might just get that quickly fixed up, and I feel like now is a good time to do it since we don't know what's going on for next year yet. So it shouldn't be too long off the bike, and we'll get back into the swing of things when I feel healthy enough to do so. But as of right now, I think that's going to be the plan.
I hadn't really heard that much about that injury. Has this been something that has also held you back? Is this something from like one of those preseason crashes that kind of just dinged you up?
I had a crash in Houston 2018 in Supercross, and that it put me out for the rest of the Supercross season, and I ended up doing the Pro Motocross Championship that year. And obviously me and Jeremy came together at that one round, and I ended up getting hurt there too with my shoulder, and it hasn't just been the same since. So I'm going to try and get it fixed up, and it's a bummer, but we all deal with this kind of stuff. So hope to be back soon.
Cool. Thanks, boys.
Weed, go ahead.
Justin, how big do you think this is going into the offseason if the results were where they had been earlier this year and you went into the offseason? How much better do you think you'll feel now that you're ending at least on a positive note?
Well, yeah, that's just the thing. It's like I said, there's a lot of pressure on me to win, and I put that all on my shoulders. So to get this out of the way is pretty big for me, and I didn't really want to go into the off season like maybe I'm gonna set myself back even more. But I feel like I'm at the top of my game now, and I feel like I'm competitive. So this definitely makes the decision I feel a little bit easier.
Thanks. For Hunter, take me through that early battle that you had with Hartraft, and then you guys, I don't even know if you realized, you accidentally ended up knocking down Ferrandis. So take me through that exchange first.
Yeah, sorry. It wasn't until Dylan actually said at the podium, like, what happened. He told me and filled me in, and I was like, oh, I had no idea. Like, I mean, couldn't really say sorry, but, I mean, it wasn't really my fault. He just kind of kept coming right. Like, I was behind him for a few laps, I think, and I was definitely faster and just wanted to get around him. And on the inside before that, I kind of like went the inside there and he jumped out of the rut, but we didn't touch then. And then I got a little off balance and we kind of came close. I wouldn't say anything I did was dirty. I mean, I'm pretty clean rider for the most part. And then he kind of just kept riding further right. And I'm like, okay, you've made the pass. Like, good job, buddy. Can we crack on? So no one passes us on the inside. But thankfully, I mean, Dylan wasn't on the inside because he would have passed the pair of us. But yeah, a bit of a clown move, to be honest. Like, it wasn't needed to try and whack my front wheel. So I'll remember it.
And then when Ferrandis did get around you late, it seemed like you were actually able to stick with him for a decent amount. So take me through those final laps.
That sucked, dude. I was freaking behind Shane for so freaking long. I couldn't pass him. It's the widest Yamaha on the track. And I finally got around him. And then because how I passed him, like it cocked up both of our momentum for the uphill. So then, of course, Dylan got him and caught right up to me then. So he was on my ass. And then the old Honda didn't quite make the uphill triple in them rollers. And, of course, he did from, the inside. And then he got pretty close and managed to just get that real tight inside rut at the top of that hill and just got right beside me and scrubbed, and there was a lapper in the middle. So I was kind of on the ropes there. But, yeah, I tried to, charge again and try and get him. But I had a few sketchy moments just pushing the limit and just tried to get him where I could. But just, couldn't make a pass in the last two laps. So.
Same question I kind of asked Justin there. How much will it help you going into who knows how long of an offseason, at least ending with running up front?
I mean, it's better than being where I was after the second Loretta's because that sucked. But, I mean, it's not over yet. Obviously, I'd love to be better next weekend. So I won't answer that question until next weekend because I'm aiming to do better. So.
And is there anything at this point where do you feel like you're 100% or you still wish you had a few more weeks? Do you still think there's more to gain, or are you where you want to be now?
No, I mean, I'm not where I want to be. Like, I'm not on the podium, so that's just a easy, simple answer. Like, I'm not 100% myself, my old self, yet. We're still, building each week. We're still building and getting, 2% better, 3% better. And it's just those little 1%ers that, all the guys up the front know that we don't find miraculous, we found 2 seconds this week. It's, we found 2/10 this week or 3/10, half a second, So I'm just working. I'd love there to be 5 more races, but yeah, it's how it is. It's life sometimes. So just keep digging and working.
Okay, thanks, Hunter. And Jeremy, I'll ask this one to you. It seemed odd the way the track shaped up in the 450 class, especially. We saw a ton of mistakes. Did it catch you by surprise? You've been around a long time, so I'll ask you the question. Did it catch you by surprise how the track shaped up today? Because it seemed different than a normal Thunder Valley. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I was a little bit bummed out. I knew I heard that the track was pretty deep and they were putting a lot of water into it. And then we did the first practice session of the day, and I was like, dude, the outsides are dry. And then some spots were a little bit gooey, but I was like, this track's pretty dang high speed just in general. So I was pretty bummed out when I saw that, because I'm like, oh, it's going to be a faster track today, and then probably cut in some dozer berms and try to make make some lines, alternative stuff. And they did that. And there's a couple sections that definitely were a little bit rowdy, but I definitely wish that for sure, like after the mechanics area, you make that right, drop down, that double. Like in the years that I've raced, it was like gnarly ruts all the way up to the finish line through those turns right there. And it was like just super dry and nasty chop all day.
I'll ask the same thing for you, Justin Cooper. You do well on this track usually, but did it seem different than previous years?
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna get a different racetrack every year, but it was definitely, yeah, like Jeremy said, a little bit more flat and choppy. It seemed like they had parts of the track good, and other parts of the track were just flat, and nothing really would form as far as ruts. So, yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of both. They had a couple of sections had some pretty gnarly ruts, so it was good and bad. I mean, they could have done a little bit better job ripping it, I feel. And all in all, it was a racetrack, and we show up to race. So you race what you have, and that's what happened today.
Hey, can you talk about Justin fending off Jeremy, because he really did for a while there. He threw a lot at you. What was it like from your perspective up front, trying to hold him off?
Yeah, I mean, we got side by side a couple of times, and I had to look over, and I was just playing defensive at times, and I just I was trying to find a better flow and trying to learn from him a little bit. I knew he had a little bit more pace than me early on, so it was kind of just riding my own laps, and when he got next to me, I would have to be defensive and take the right lines. But he was riding really well, and it was a good battle, and I think the fans were enjoying it.
And my last thing, you might be the first person to ever have their dog with them on the podium, because we do have some more distance on the podium than usual. So that's pretty unique. I don't think anyone's ever been able to do that before. Yeah,
I figured why not. I brought him with me, so you stick him up on the podium. I don't think anyone's ever done that before, so it was cool. Maybe not an every time thing, but since he was there and I got the win, I figured why not.
Cool. All right, thanks, guys.
Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex Gober at motoonline.com. My internet's not great at the moment, but is it working okay, or?
You're all right.
Yeah. For Justin, you're coming up to, not far off top 3 in the points. So you've got a pretty good track record between Supercross and Motocross of, finishing inside the top 3. So is that important to you?
Yeah, it's important. I've been third the last 2 years in the Motocross series, so yeah, why not make it another third? But yeah, it's good. Been pretty far off the top 3, so this definitely helped me out today. But all in all, it's not a big focus for me. I'm just trying to do the best I can, and that'll come with it. But yeah, we got one more race, and yeah, I want to end the season strong, and just gonna give it everything I have again, and try and make the best of it for this last round.
And for Hunter, we heard Justin say before that he's probably going to have shoulder surgery at the end of the season. So what's your position and situation on that? Are you good to focus on 21, or are you got to get it checked out more?
No, I'm good, mate. I'm just going to keep cracking on, play a bit of golf, keep riding, yeah, that's about it. Just going to keep working until I achieve my goals pretty much. So no, I'm good. Body's good and stuff. We just do, the blood tests and bits and pieces just to make sure everything's good. And yeah, hopefully come out swinging in Supercross whenever that may be. So.
And the podium at the final round, that would be pretty nice, wouldn't it, at Fox Raceway?
Yeah, it'd be awesome, mate. Be a good little end to the season. You know, you're only as good as your last race, so it'd be good to leave a nice taste in the industry's mouth for the last few rounds. You know, so yeah, we'll give it a crack, get 2 good starts hopefully, and we'll go from there, mate.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, bud.
Cool. Anyone else? Awesome. Well, thank you, 250 guys. Congratulations, everyone, on the ride today, and